Slavic, dang. Slavic! That's something I just crossed my mind the other day, man. The last segment I was talking about the Philly sports teams. And it just occurred to me after I made that video. I started thinking about it. And I started thinking, like, we've actually had more than 10 championships in this town. And I actually forgot about this particular team. And, that's because, they're way before my time. But I have to also include, in my opinion, maybe the greatest Philadelphia professional sports team of all time. I'm talking about the Philadelphia Athletics, Slavic. And this team was only in Philadelphia for 50 years. They started in 1901, and they left Philadelphia in 1954. In a 20-year period, in a 20-year span, from 1901 to 1931, they won 5 World Series. 5. They won 5 championships. There has not been any Philadelphia team to really remotely come close to that. When you think about it. 5 World Series. And then they left in 1954, I think. And then they went to Kansas City. And eventually they went to Oakland. They won some titles out there in Oakland. They won a whole bunch of titles in the 70s. But then, it just started to occur to me that they were probably the greatest Philadelphia sports team ever. I mean, it's like none of the current teams have come close to winning. I mean, the Eagles won. I mean, technically, the Eagles have won 4 titles. They won 3 way back when, and they won this Super Bowl. But that's kind of like that's really like just like not like before the Super Bowl. NFL league was just primitive. You know what I mean? It's not like it is now. Anything before like anything before 1967. So if I count those 5 World Series that the Phillies won, not the Phillies, the Athletics. If I count those 5 World Series that the Athletics won, we have had 15 World Championships, 15 titles in Philadelphia. 15 total. Not going to count the Philadelphia Stars, man. Bullshit on them, man. They were only around for 2 years, 3 years, that league. That was a scrimmage league, Philadelphia, with the USFL in the 80s. That was a scrimmage league. Bunch of has-been players, Doesn't even count. So, I'm going to go 15 titles for all the Philadelphia teams, including the Athletics. Still not good. A little better than what we had. Yeah, I mean, Connie Mack, whenever he won a championship or two, he sold off all his players, man. He didn't waste no time, man. He was a real businessman. Connie Mack. Yeah. Yeah, and he had dynasties. He had 2 dynasties. So, you gotta tip your hat to that franchise. They weren't here that long, but they sure accomplished a lot. In 20 years, they won 5 titles. That's pretty impressive. More impressive than what we've been seeing from these other teams. So, that's all I got on this on Slavic. I just wanted to fill you in on the past history of Philly sports. Don't ever forget the Athletics, man. Don't ever forget these Athletics. Because they are the greatest. They're the greatest team in Philadelphia sports history. Slavic.